In the shadow of monuments that define a nation's strength, there are quiet paths many of us never walk. In Washington, D.C., where every conversation seems to be about power and policy, a different story unfolds on the street corners. A human narrative of individuals grappling with profound mental health challenges and the search for stability. It is a world that requires not judgment, but genuine recognition. Welcome to Globe Path Travel Documentary, where we uncover the hidden stories and unseen realities of the world. Stay with me till the end, because this story will change how you see the world. Don't skip. Hidden Side: The Unseen Divide in Washington, D.C. Imagine walking the streets of Washington, D.C., a city specifically designed to project power, stability, and enduring democratic ideals. Every corner boasts a story of national triumph. The monuments stand as flawless testaments to ambition and history, and the corridors of power hum with the energy of global decision-making. You look up and the glass towers seem to pierce the sky, reflecting a future of boundless prosperity. This is the portrait most people carry of the nation's capital. Now, pause and look down. This is where the truly startling reality lies, a reality shielded from the headlines and the tour buses. Within a stone's throw of the city's most secure and prominent buildings, there exists an entirely different geography. It's a hidden landscape defined not by grand architecture, but by the quiet, everyday human challenge. The shock isn't the presence of people experiencing homelessness. That is a familiar, difficult reality in most major cities. The real shock is the proximity of this struggle to the nation's epicenter of wealth and healthcare policy. It's the profound irony of a community grappling with immense personal mental health challenges and a deep lack of essential resources, right alongside institutions that manage budgets reaching into the trillions. This isn't just about an absence of housing. It's about the deep human need for reliable support for their health, dignity, and stability. For the individuals we are seeking to understand, their life is a constant navigation of barriers that are largely invisible to the majority. Their entire world is often mobile, contained in a single bag or cart, right there on the same sidewalk where lobbyists discuss multi-million-dollar deals. The greatest obstacle they face isn't just a lack of shelter. It is the exhausting, non-stop effort required to simply manage their well-being without the fundamental safety net of a secure environment. This journey demands that we look beyond the political narrative and confront a startling truth. The measure of a city's true character is not in its monuments, but in the compassionate spaces it creates for every resident. By simply choosing to acknowledge this stark, visible yet ignored contrast, we begin to see the untold stories of resilience and the immense humans, effort required to simply exist amidst the shadows of immense power. Real people, the architects of silent courage. The most impactful revelation in Washington, D.C. is understanding that the people living without shelter are not a monolithic category, but a vibrant tapestry of individual histories and professions. We are not observing statistics. We are seeing fathers who once coached Little League, veterans who served their nation with honor, artists who brought creativity to life, and neighbors who used to work in the very office buildings they now rest near. This is the shocking truth. That profound vulnerability can strike anyone, transforming a life of structure into one defined by endless, quiet struggle. Their journey is a constant, almost unimaginable feat of personal engineering. For many, the mental health challenges they face, often stemming from complex roots like service-related trauma, deep personal loss, or the challenging cycles of substance struggles, are invisible wounds. These wounds necessitate a level of daily management that most citizens cannot begin to comprehend. Consider the simple human acts we take for granted: finding a safe place to sleep, securing a nourishing meal, or even staying dry during a downpour. For these individuals, Achieving these basic necessities requires courageous persistence. Every single day is a strategic victory against incredible odds. They must manage internal difficulties while simultaneously navigating an external world that often ignores or dismisses their existence. The ultimate goal for these individuals isn't just mere survival. It is the fundamental human desire for dignity, the right to be seen, to have a voice, and to feel a sense of belonging. The resilience found on the sidewalks of DC is a testament to the enduring human spirit, proving that even under the greatest pressure, the hope for wholeness and a better future remains powerfully alive. Their silent struggles are the truest measure of their strength. Causes: the shocking gap in the safety net. To understand why this profound human struggle is so visible in Washington, D.C., we have to look beyond individual circumstances and acknowledge a startling systemic failure. The capital city, a place that designs policy for the entire nation, seems to have been caught off guard by its own success. The reasons for this visible human struggle are rarely a single, simple cause. They are a complex, tangled knot of historical policy, changes colliding with the brutal realities of a booming urban economy. The beginning of this challenge stretches back decades. There was a well-intentioned national movement to transition away from large, isolated care facilities toward integrated, community-based mental health support. The idea was progressive, humane, and designed to help people live with dignity in their neighborhoods. However, the truly shocking reality is that the promise of robust, continuous, and accessible community infrastructure, the day programs, the drop-in centers, the stable transitional housing, never fully materialized to meet the immense need. This created a profound, widening gap in the safety net, leaving countless individuals with severe needs nowhere to turn but the streets. This historical shortfall is now relentlessly amplified by DC's hyper-accelerated real estate market. The rising cost of housing is not just an inconvenience, it is a catastrophic engine of displacement. In a city where even entry-level professional apartments demand high rents, securing a basic affordable room is nearly impossible for someone relying on limited disability or support income. Every economic success story for the city pushes the possibility of stability further out of reach for those who need it most. The intersection of these factors, the lack of comprehensive mental health care access, crippling cost of housing, and the absence of continuous, readily available community support, creates a systemic challenge that is both deeply entrenched and profoundly unforgivable. In a place with DC's resources, it is a failure of integration. The safety net exists, but its individual strands are too weak and too far apart to catch everyone. Human impact, the burden of being unseen. What does it truly feel like to live this life in Washington, D.C.? It is an emotional truth defined by the shock of total exposure. Imagine trying to navigate a profound health challenge, one that requires peace, privacy, and routine, while having absolutely none of those things. Every moment is spent outdoors, exposed to the chaotic speed of the city, the unpredictable weather, and the constant gaze of strangers. The greatest burden is often not the lack of material goods, but the relentless, exhausting, profound isolation. In a city of millions, you are functionally invisible. The emotional impact is the continuous, quiet stress of being utterly disconnected from the rhythm of society. How do you concentrate on managing a mental health challenge when your most basic instinct, the need for safety and rest, is never satisfied? The lack of stable shelter and privacy makes recovery an exponentially difficult task, forcing people to carry their deep internal struggles right alongside their physical belongings. Yet, this exposed existence also offers a startling opportunity for genuine human interaction. The profound sense of being unseen makes the occasional small gesture of kindness feel monumental. This is the positive shock, the realization that true value often lies in the simplest acts of recognition. A warm cup of coffee offered without judgment. A moment where someone stops, makes eye contact, and offers a kind word. These tiny moments are not solutions, but they are vital temporary anchors. They remind the individual that despite the isolation, their humanity is recognized. In a fast-moving, policy-driven city, these fleeting, compassionate exchanges are the most powerful antidote to the isolation, offering a flicker of hope and reinforcing the sheer human capacity for endurance. Society's mirror, the capital's true reflection. Washington, D.C. is more than a city. It is a global beacon, a profound symbol of aspiration and progress. This is the shocking paradox we must confront. The capital's towering image stands in stark contradiction to its ground-level reality. The policy debates held here are often about complex geopolitical challenges and massive economic systems, yet the most fundamental human needs remain unmet just blocks away. The sheer scale of this disconnect compels a collective, sober reflection. This is where the story ceases to be just about individuals and becomes a direct commentary on society's priorities. We are forced to ask, what do the gleaming marble monuments truly represent if they overshadow the basic well-being of the people living in their shadow? The true character of any society, and particularly one that prides itself on leadership and compassion, is not defined by its highest achievements, its GDP or its military strength, but by how tenderly and effectively it cares for its most vulnerable citizens. For DC, the question is not one of blame, but one of ambition. The city has proven its capacity for immense innovation and wealth generation. The shock is realizing that this capability has not yet been fully translated into a comprehensive, inclusive social infrastructure. It is a moment for the entire community to pause and ask the most critical question. Are we actively building a city where the opportunity for mental and physical well-being is considered a non-negotiable, fundamental right for every single resident, regardless of their current circumstance? Until that ambition is fully realized on every street corner, the reflection in the city's mirror will always show a profound, unresolved tension. This challenge is not a weakness, it is an enormous, pressing opportunity for the capital to live up to its own grand ideals. This is the crucial pivot point, the infusion of hope that balances the story. I will expand this section to focus on the inspiring, shocking efficiency and dedication of these frontline community workers. Rays of hope, the quiet architects of recovery. In the face of systemic challenges and overwhelming needs, the most inspiring reality in Washington, D.C. is the resilience of its community spirit. This is the positive counter-shock, the discovery of extraordinary compassion thriving in the gaps of a struggling system. These rays of hope are cast by small, dedicated outreach teams, the true heroes of the city. Operating often with limited funding and immense personal commitment, they are the persistent light where the political spotlight fades. Their mission goes far beyond providing temporary relief. It is about the patient, relational work of building trust, which is the absolute foundation for anyone navigating serious mental health challenges. They understand that a stable future begins not with a quick handout, but with consistent, respectful connection. These teams are innovators on the front lines. They are creating essential pathways, holistic support, offering basic medical attention and mental health resources directly on the street, circumventing the formal barriers that often keep people isolated. Creative housing solutions. Nonprofit organizations are developing housing models that prioritize stability and support. Understanding that a key to recovery is simply having a secure private door to close at night. Peer support. The rise of groups where individuals with lived experience guide others. reminding them that the path to wellness is traveled best with someone who understands the journey firsthand. These individuals demonstrate a powerful, unwavering belief in the potential for every person to find stability and dignity. They are proof that change is not always a grand, sweeping policy. It is the persistent, compassionate presence of one human being for another. Their actions remind the city that while policy is essential, it is empathy and consistent care that truly anchor an individual's journey toward recovery. This quiet work is the true measure of DC's enduring heart. The final reflection, the true bedrock of dignity. Our journey through the powerful, yet often contradictory landscape of Washington, D.C. leads us to a clear, resounding conclusion. The greatest resource a society possesses is the potential and well-being of its people. The most profound lesson we take away from DC's unseen paths is this: stability and reliable support are not societal luxuries reserved for the fortunate. They are the fundamental bedrock upon which all human potential must be built. Without that secure foundation, the ability to heal, to contribute, and to simply exist with dignity is severely diminished. This understanding should be shocking in its simplicity, yet often forgotten in the complexity of modern life. We learn that the choice to engage with this reality is a shared responsibility. It requires us to dismantle the walls of fear or avoidance and replace them with the simple, profound commitment to empathy and patience. It means looking past the immediate circumstance and recognizing the full history, worth, and human identity in every person we encounter on the street. The path toward healing, stability, and recovery is rarely a straight line for anyone navigating mental health challenges. But our journey shows that this path is always illuminated by connection. The consistent presence of care, the genuine listening ear, and the unwavering belief in a person's future are the lights that guide the way Washington, D.C., with all its influence and symbolic power, ultimately teaches us that the highest form of national strength is found in the local commitment to human dignity. We must choose to walk the path of collective compassion together, ensuring that the promise of support is delivered to every single life on every single street. That choice is not just good policy. It is the ultimate measure of a thriving, hopeful community. We leave the nation's capital with a sense of hopeful obligation to not forget the paths unseen and to support the work that restores dignity and promotes well-being. The story is ongoing, and it calls for our attention. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, share, and comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and please subscribe to Globe Path Travel Documentary so you don't miss our next journey into the unseen realities of the world.